Hello, everybody, and welcome to my show of shows wrap up, where I'm gonna go through a couple little talking points, and you can get my perspective on some things. So yeah, it's Monday. It's done. Show's over. Back home. Starting to get organized again. Filling up emptying out the bins and trying to organize my inventory, which is a major pain in the ass for me. Um, People are always like, "Oh, aren't you glad the show's over and you can like get back to normal and not stress out?" And the answer to that is the stress is actually worse when I get back from the show because I got to unpack, I got to reorganize things. Ultimately, you do a nice job packing, getting ready for the show, but it's a rat race. It's like a fucking nightmare to get out of there. So you're just throwing shit in bins. And the guys that helped me out, ran John Corbin, Jen Brady, uh, Will Docus. I mean, they've been doing this a long time with me, over 10 years, some of them, and they kind of know what they're doing by now. So they do a great job, but they're still inevitably, they don't know how I pack things and how my storage system really is back at the office. So they're just trying to fill up the bins and get out of there. So I've got to reorganize things, find things, because back at the office, stuff's organized pretty well. Like if I'm looking for a particular metal, I know it's in a particular bin. And when we're packing up for the show, we literally are just throwing all metals in like one bin. So I got to like resort all that kind of stuff. I got to take things out of Rikers, put those in inventory bins in the office. So it's just a shit ton of work to do. And on top of that, I got to find all the orders that came in over the last week when we're at the show and we're packing and things are packed up. I couldn't pull orders. So I got to get all those pulled, find them, find the items, and pull them and get those packaged up and sent out. And inevitably, there will be things, and there are things this show too, that sold at the show that also sold online, which is just like, I don't know how it happens with 10,000 items in inventory, but it always happens. People will inevitably wait till the last minute to buy stuff on my website, things that have been there for freaking years, and they decide to buy the same thing that somebody at the show bought. So I got to do all the apologies and whatnot for that, and try to get the customers sorted out and happy, even though they didn't get what they wanted. Figure out something else for them. So there's a lot to do. Freaking, my back hurts already lifting these damn bins. Today was empty out the trailer that had all the totes and stuff in it and all the case showcases. Get that done, and that was the main thing. And drop off the trailer. So I'm like totally exhausted already. It's 7:30 at night, and I'm ready for bed already. And I'm a night owl, but I'm tired. So did do some sorting and putting stuff away. So let's get to the freaking show and what happened. Or, well, the whole show thing going out there sucked. We had to drive 12 hours, which is fine, but the weather was just not fun. And we're driving through the remnants of a snowstorm, and we found out that West Virginia just doesn't give a shit about its roads, and its roads are absolutely horrible, the highways, which is weird because it's an interstate. We were on interstate, so you figured it would still be okay, but no, it was all fucked up. So we're white knuckle driving the whole time, or through most of West Virginia. Just cold as hell. Just took longer to get there than we wanted to. Um, but we finally got there, and we got there um, just in time to go and set up. We had like an hour and a half to park and get all the stuff inside the tables and set up, which was an absolutely horrible situation with snow and ice all over the parking lot. having to park far away from the loading area where you got to walk in, and it being about 5 degrees. I mean, you can imagine trying to unload a trailer in 5 degree weather or whatever it was. It was like horrible. It wasn't just cold, it was fucking cold. And it was just not fun. But luckily, we had enough people to help, came out of the show to help. Just all kinds of people were just coming out to grab stuff. So it was awesome that we have so many great people that are part of our crew to come out and just get the job done. So we got everything set up. We were feeling good because we stopped for a quick White Castle bite beforehand, so we were in good spirits. The White Castle hit hard. Jalapeno cheddar burgers, I highly recommend them. So that was keeping us from being cranky because we had a little bit of that to carry us over until dinner. Let's see. I got my little notepad so I don't forget anything. Parking lot sucked. So we get inside, and of course it was the same venue that we had a few years back when they also had to switch us around. So I recognized it right away. It is larger. There were more space, and it was more space in the aisles, and that wasn't because of a different layout. It was simple matter of the SOS people using the same however many amount of tables and whatnot in a slightly larger space. So that made the aisles much wider in most cases. But there was a couple of screw ups. Like one aisle, in our aisle, we had one side that was huge. You could fit a whole nother run down it of tables if you wanted to. And the aisle on our other side was tight, like you would expect at a smaller show. So it was a little bit. I think the table setup guys probably could have done a better job. But lots of space, generally speaking. They could have had more tables if they wanted to. But due to the weather, there was a certain amount of people that didn't show up. Tom Whitman notably did not make it. And there was a couple other weather-related issues. Some dealers didn't make it. So I think it was mostly the weather was the problem. Not because they didn't want to be there. So there was some empty tables. Noticeably, there was some empty tables, but there was enough people standing by that wanted to pick up tables last minute that were able to do so. So that kind of filled them up, but it took a while for that to happen. So Thursday, you saw empty tables. By Friday, a lot of those empty tables had been filled temporarily by other dealers. So the way we had it set up this year was we had the opportunity to buy a couple of tables, well, lease a couple of tables from another dealer who was not able to fill the tables due to whatever circumstances. So I was quick to say, yeah, sure, I'd love to borrow those tables, and I did so. The only thing was that those tables were normally we would be next to that guy, but because of the different layout this year, they moved dealers around to fit the new puzzle, so to speak, to make it all work. So I had a feeling that we would not be next to each other for this temporary situation, and that turned out to be true. And of course, we don't know ahead of time, which is really ridiculous. So I planned for us to be separated and have two tables remote, and that's actually what wound up happening. They weren't too far apart, so I could run customers back and forth, but I was doing a lot of hustling, running customers back and forth because they would come to my main tables, and I'd be like, no, I don't have that here, but I have that down on my other tables. So we'd kind of run down to the other table. And you never want to, when you're talking about a customer and money, you don't just say, yeah, go over there, because if they don't make it to your tables, it's potentially a lost sale. So I was escorting customers down there. Whether they found something or not, it didn't really matter. I was definitely going to escort them down there. So we did that. I was hustling the whole time. My perspective on show recaps is that I am behind the tables most of the time, and I don't get a chance to run out. And it's not because I don't trust my crew. My crew is great. They're fantastic. They do a great job. It's just because I like being there, and a lot of people are coming to see me. And I just love the hustle behind the tables and the busyness. And I don't need the inventory, so to speak, in terms of having to go and buy stuff to keep my website running. It's with me, it's usually the opposite. I'm buying so much throughout the year that I need to sell it at the shows to lighten things up a little bit. Because inevitably things will sell at the show that you will never sell online for some reason. A lot of things people want to touch, feel, smell, rub their nuts on it, whatever they want to do, and they want to do that at the show. So you sell things at the show that you probably wouldn't sell online, um, and you just get a chance to just get rid of some different stuff. So that definitely happened. So I was running back and forth. I There wasn't much of a dull moment for me. Going Relating to that, there was a lot of traffic. The the traffic on the regular customer day, which is what, Friday, was very busy. I noticed there's just a ton of people. I saw that there were certain aisles maybe where it wasn't so busy, but I know a lot of people were coming to see SMG War Relics. So we had a lot of repeat business, repeat customers, of course, coming down. Not a lot of, I don't say not a lot, but not all businesses have that. So we've built up to that. So it's fantastic. So we were really, really busy. Did we sell to everybody we talked to? No. You have to have the right mix, and you never know what someone's looking for. Um, but sales were strong, um, even with all of that. So there was money there. People were spending money. The traffic was good. Uh, I hit the goal that I needed to do, that I wanted to do. I've kind of like a minimum that was like, all right, if I don't hit this goal, it's not worth going. And then I have another goal. It's like, okay, this is what I would like to do to have a good show and what I think I can do with the inventory I have. And every year is a little bit different depending on the inventory that I have. So if I have, let's say I've got like a ton of high end SS stuff that's very popular, and I have it priced competitively, I'll probably have a phenomenal show, right? If I don't have that same mix, I could have a ton of stuff. I could have more value there, but if I don't have that like real trendy stuff, the stuff that people are really looking for, which is generally SS stuff, or like double decal helmets and kind of just the stuff that is an easy sell. People are always looking for it, so you get the opportunity to sell it and the opportunity to talk about pricing, the opportunity to engage with the customer. A lot of the other stuff is kind of hit or miss. It's like, oh well, you might have, like for instance, like I had a whole shit ton of police bayonets there, and I had them priced very competitively because I had so many of them. But people weren't really looking for those, so I had to really engage with people. Hey, I've got great deals on police bayonets right now. It's a good time to buy. And I did wind up selling a couple of police bayonets, but I had to really engage with people, just because you know there was just a ton of things that weren't like the hot items, so to speak. So we did very well. We didn't have a record-breaking show because I didn't have the record-breaking type of merchandise, if you will. Even though I brought more in quantity than I ever had before. I brought a lot of foreign metals from that foreign metal. Uh, what the hell was it? It was like a freaking container in Pennsylvania that I just got buckets and buckets of metals from. And there's some cool stuff in there. But, was there anything that was like, $1,000 metals and things? No, there wasn't that. It was a lot of like, $40, $50, $60, $100 metals, like that kind of stuff. So it takes a lot of those sales if you're gonna knock it out of the park. So generally speaking, great show for us. Not a record breaker. Very busy. So it was totally fine in terms of traffic. And I heard that a lot of vendors, a lot of dealers did well as well. So I don't think there's anything to worry about as far as like the hobby dying and all that crap you hear people talk about. So people were getting out there, but it's the same thing as usual. The big money is spent on Thursday. A lot of the dealers will spend big money looking for things that are undervalued or things that they can resell back in Europe. So if you've got those type of items, you'll have a great Thursday. And if you have a great Thursday, then you're probably set for the rest of the show. So we had a good Thursday and a good Friday and just a Saturday, which is kind of normal. Saturday, I usually budget or I plan to do about, I would say it's not a third, a third, a third. If there's 3 selling days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, it's really like you're usually doing about, I don't know, 60% of your business on Thursday in terms of dollars. And then on Friday, you're doing like, I don't know, probably 30%, right? And then Saturday's like 10%. My numbers and ratios are maybe a little off, but it's kind of that type of scale. So I have a certain low goal to hit on a Saturday. And if I hit it, I'm ecstatic. If I don't hit it, it's not the end of the world. But overall, like I said, things were totally fine for sales, just not record shattering sales. What was selling? Just a lot of everything. Not a lot of everything, like a bit of everything. Some headgear, some daggers, some metals, some cloth. The only thing I didn't sell a single one of was swords, which is always, swords are always a pain in the ass. I hope to sell swords when I go, just because I hate shipping swords. So I always hope to sell swords, and I try to have them very competitively priced. But there's just not a lot of shoppers for swords. If someone picks one up, I'm like, let's make a deal. Like, I want to sell the swords there. But we didn't get any sword sales this year. But yeah, we were selling all kinds of stuff. We were selling a bunch of those weird foreign awards. It was good. It was good overall. It was fantastic seeing a lot of repeat customers. It was fantastic just hearing a lot of people stop by and, people were stopping by to pick up their T-shirts that I had on hold for them. And then people were just stopping by to say they enjoy the What's in the Box episodes. They enjoy the podcast. Tons of feedback on the podcast, which is really interesting because based on the amount of feedback that I got about the podcast, we don't have a lot of subscribers compared to the amount of feedback we got. Like, it didn't make any sense. So I started asking people, well, thanks. I appreciate the support. Do you subscribe to the channel? And they were like, no, I don't know how to do that. So I guess that's a thing that has to do with having our customer base and our viewers. A lot of them are older customers and older viewers, and they may not be tech savvy with YouTube, and they don't know that there's a subscribe button that you can hit. And there's a notification bell to let you know when you're getting, when there's a new podcast out. So, and that goes for YouTube as well. If you guys are listening and you don't subscribe, please subscribe. It helps us see what's going on out there, and it helps us kind of navigate the waters and see the fruits of our labor, so to speak. The more people we see subscribed, the more likely we're able to stay motivated to do podcasts, to do box openings. So it is very important that you guys hit the subscribe, the like, and the notification bell. Hit all those things. They're not really going to affect you. It's not going to affect you negatively by doing so. So if you could do that for us, that would be a huge help. We are not making any money off of any of those social media platforms in terms of YouTube and monetary, compensation, because we're not monetized on any of those. On my box opening one on YouTube, I'm not monetized, and I'm not monetized. We're not monetized in the podcast, so we're not making any money off of this. So your support is just giving us that thumbs up, subscribing, and all that stuff. But again, tons of people came by and were talking about the podcast and how much they loved it. So thank you for all of that. Um, what else is going on? Oh, well, there's a lot to talk about, like what actually happened at the show. I mean, the one thing I'll say that was just completely like annoyed the crap out of me was the smell of sewer in the back of the venue. And I don't know, it was definitely there Thursday, and I think Wednesday. I don't know if it was there Friday. I don't think I noticed it Friday, Saturday as much, or maybe it was still there. You guys can chime in and let me know what you thought. But the back of the venue, not by us, thank God, but further on down in the back, you walked by there and you're like, wow, it smells like freaking shit here. And it wasn't from someone shitting their pants. It was literally from, it smelled like a sewer pipe was open in the back or something, you know? So I don't know what was going on with that, but it was kind of embarrassing. It's like, oh, our freaking venue smells like shit. There's a lot of other things that happen. A water pipe bursts over some other dealer's table, and there's other things going on. But we'll talk more about that on the podcast. So if you want to hear about like funny stories and things that happened, um, tune into the podcast. We got to Josh and Kramer and myself. We got to figure out a time to do it. So give us a week at least to get that together because we got to schedule to meet online. Then we'll have Josh do the editing, and we'll get that launched. But it'll be a good one. There's lots of funny stories. We got tons of stuff to tell you about what we did after the show and things that were happening. So definitely recommend tuning in to the podcast. The other thing I wanted to talk about today was, I was there with Malcolm May. I let Malcolm May have some table space at my table. He was there selling his NSKK SA book. It's a fantastic book. We did go. He did print enough with the intentions of knowing that he wasn't going to sell through them. It would be highly unlikely for him to sell hundreds of books at the venue. So we knew we were going to take some home. So I was happy to become a distributor for him. So I've got plenty of these books in stock. They're $120 for the regular copy. I'm not sure if I got any of the limited edition copy, but if we do, those are $130, which is the same book but a different cover. So this is a phenomenal book. I think you'll really enjoy it if you're into dagger collecting, and especially if you're into SA collecting. It's phenomenal. I did a book review on it. You can find that on YouTube and Patreon as well. But look for that on the website shortly. You can just send me an email if you want one. If they're not on the website in a couple of days, depending on how quickly I get to it. Okay. So that was that. Also, I was able to pick up a copy of Tom Durante's Wound Badge book. This is volume 2, which is the solid silver and gold grades that he did. The volume 1 is not out yet, and there's also going to be a volume 3. So this is kind of like the in the middle one. I guess it's just because it was what was ready for print. I didn't really discuss that with him too much, but I didn't get a ton of time to flip through this. What I did notice was that it was just phenomenal. I mean, as you expect from a book that Durante does. I mean, this is an actual, research encyclopedia. There's really no other way to describe it. It's just pure awesomeness if you're a wound badge collector. I don't have these for sale, unfortunately. And I don't know. See if I think you can get it. Probably B&D will probably have it. But I did hear that B&D's going to be kind of wrapping up this year. They might be kind of not doing their thing, closing down and retiring. So I don't know how that's going to work out. So maybe I'll get more books and I'll start being a distributor for books. Who the hell knows? Probably not what I want to get into, but this is cool because I got Tom to sign this one. It says, "To my good friend Dante, I hope you enjoy the book." And I'm sure he wrote that, happy collecting. I'm sure he wrote that same thing to everybody. But I did want to tell you that I got limited edition 14 out of 100. So that means I'm besides Tom's family, I'm probably the 14th most important person in Tom's life right now. So I just wanted to say that. And if you're ahead of me, then that's fine too. You know, we can talk about it. But at 14, I think was pretty cool. So of course I'm being facetious. But that is it, my guys and girls. So thank you so much for making the show awesome. If you made the trip out there and I did get to speak with you, thank you for coming by and saying hi. I do appreciate it. Even if I'm busy and I feel like you're bugging me and it seems that way, I will always try to make time for you. So please continue to come to the venues and I will find time to spend with you and help you or talk to you about whatever you want to talk to. It's a great time to socialize and build a hobby. So I love doing it. So thank you again for that. And we're going to end this video with a little walkthrough of our tables. I didn't get to post it while I was there because we're so busy. So enjoy this little walkthrough of our tables this year, or just the main grouping. But here it is right here.
Welcome everybody to the 2026 SOS in Louisville, Kentucky. Good morning, Dante.
Good morning.
So here we are, Friday morning or Thursday morning at
Thursday
SOS.
morning, we're set up, we're ready to go, and we're already doing sales. So come on by.
You heard them, folks. Come on by. Good, Tom.
The government. Yeah, so it makes it really hard now. Like, you just push it around the ground.
Come see us. We're at row V.